Hi there fellow sea glass lovers, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jackie, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a small sea glass mosaic of a heron. Now this is 8 inches by 10 inches, and I'm doing this video to accompany a kit that I've put together. And if you have that kit, great, you can follow along with your supplies and complete this sea glass mosaic. And if you don't have that kit, just pull together your own supplies. So in my kit, I have a copy of my book, Windows to the Past, Creating Sea Glass Mosaic Art. Gives you tons of tips of things that you can do to create art with your sea glass. And there's a pattern. If you just want the pattern, you can get the pattern by itself on my website, JackieTrimperSeaglass.com, and that gives you a couple of different patterns of herons to follow. So you have a few things to choose from, not just one pattern, and all the instructions. So for this, you're going to need a frame. So I have an 8 inch by 10 inch frame. You're going to need some sea glass. Now that's about how much sea glass you might need for something this size. So not a ton of sea glass. It's surprising. And that's more than you're going to need to fill up this space of glass. And you need quick seal adhesive caulk. And this is what I use for my glue. A couple of tools just to clear away any messy bits. And that's it. You're set to go. So once you've gathered up all your materials, you need to decide what are you going to do for a pattern. So I've drawn this one, and that's the heron that I want to do. The picture that I just showed you, I used the heron that was taking off into flight. Well, this one, the heron is flying. It's already taken off. And the other thing you want to do is sort your materials. So I've sorted my sea glass into white and brown and green, and I've also picked out a few special pieces that I want to use. Do this before you start, and then you'll be ready to get going. Now, once you sort it, the first thing you want to do is to take the back off your frame, slip your pattern into the frame, and then put the back in place. And the back is going to hold your pattern there so that when you flip it over, the pattern is there for you to follow. Now before you get started, you want to clean your glass, and so that you're applying your sea glass onto nice clean glass. So step 3 is to put any of your special pieces of sea glass into place. So to me, the special pieces are the things that you want to use that aren't your white and your brown and your green. So I always like to have a little bit of weight at the bottom of my piece. So I've picked out a few rocks here that I want to put into place. That piece of driftwood that's pretty cool. I often like to have a holy rock. This one has a lot of holes in it. And because a rock with a hole in it represents good luck, hagstone. So I like to put that in. And I also usually put an inukshuk in my pieces of art. So here I've picked out some really special pieces for an inukshuk that I'm going to have sitting on my piece of driftwood. And this is where you can go through some of your most special pieces and use here. There's a piece of pink pottery and a couple of pieces of pottery with blue on them, which I think is super cool. And a few little shells. I like to put those in place here. And I love moon snail shells, and that is the tiniest little moon snail shell you can imagine. So I'm going to set those into place, and I will glue them on. And then I have 2 pieces of blue that I'm going to put up in the sky as a little bird. I'll just glue those in when I'm putting in as I'm going there, when I'm doing the sky. And I have a green or a blue piece for the eye as well. Now to glue things into place, I'm using my quick seal adhesive caulking, and I'm just going to put a certain amount of glue on the back of each one. Bigger pieces need more. And just put that into place. So step 4 for completing your sea glass mosaic is to fill in the silhouette of the heron with brown sea glass. So I've sorted all my sea glass so my brown is all laid out together. And I'm just going to go through my brown collection and look for pointy brown pieces because all of these feathers of the heron are sticking up in the sky. So I'm going to look for a bunch of pieces of sea glass that are going to showcase those feathers really nicely. One of the beauties of glass, when the glass breaks, when it's out in the water, it breaks in triangles quite frequently. So you'll find in your sea glass collection you have a lot of triangles. And this works really well for creating feathers of a bird. So first I'm going to do the feathers of the heron, and then I'm going to go through and fill in all the rest of the silhouette with brown sea glass. So when I'm making a shape like this, I like to do the outline first, and then what I'll do is I'll let it set for a bit because the silicone takes a while to set. And if you let it set, then when you go to do the inside of the shape, the pieces around the outside aren't going to shift out of place, and then you won't lose your shape. So now I can get this filled in. So after I have all the brown filled in on my heron, I'm going to do some grasses coming up, and I'm just putting the pieces in place for all of these green grasses. And this is where you can use some of your really small, pointy green pieces that kind of look like they would become grasses once you put them in a line. And I decided to add another rock here, right here, just to add a bit more weight to the bottom, because these grasses and the rocks and the shells and everything here add a bit of weight to the bottom of your piece. Now you can glue all these green ones in place and then fit in all the white for the sky around it. Or what I prefer to do is to wait until I put the white pieces in place, and then I'll glue as I go. And that way I can get everything fit really closely. And I like to be a bit particular about the way my pieces fit together. So then I'll look for white pieces that fit really nicely here. And then if I want to shift the green one way or the other, I can. But if I wait until, or if I glue all the green and then start to fit the white, then I have to stick to where the green is already glued. So now I can just glue as I go. I usually just put a few in place and then start to glue them and make sure they fit really well together. So I'm just going to zoom in here to show you the feather detail in the wings of my heron here. When I'm filling in the background, I find it really helpful to look for pieces of sea glass that are triangular in shape, and then I fill in the background with those shapes so that it really helps emphasize those feathers in the wings. So now that the background is all filled in with white sea glass, I let it set overnight so that if I flip it over, the sea glass pieces won't fall off. So I'm going to flip it over to the back, and I'll remove the backing and the pattern. And I'm going to take my silicone and run a bead of silicone all the way around the edge. And then when that sets dry, you won't see it, and that will help hold the glass in place in my frame and it won't fall out. So this clear silicone goes on white, but it will dry clear. So now you can see it's white, and once that's dried clear, I know that's going to be set well enough to hold my glass and my mosaic all in place inside my frame. And then I can hang it up and I won't have to worry about the glass falling out of the frame. So I've attached my label. I'm calling this one In Flight, and then I put my name there. And I've attached a sawtooth hanging hardware so I can hang it. So now it's all ready to hang in the window. So thanks so much for joining me for this video. I hope you found this workshop on how to create a sea glass heron really helpful. And until next time, I hope you make it out to the beach, and happy sea glass hunting.